When the police came, the rest managed to escape. I was convicted in juvenile court for vehicle theft and robbery. That was in 2009. I was only 15. My entire world stopped spinning. I spent 2 years in the Singapore Boys' Home. The building is no longer here anymore. I still remember on the first day, random boys just came up to me and give me a punch in the ribs, sides, hands. And that's just the culture of the home. I thought this was the end. One of my cellmates, he asked me, Jasper, what do you want to do when you can leave this place? My mind just went blank because I realized that I didn't have any aspirations or a future to look forward to. When I came into the home, I completely gave up. All of that changed when I met this teacher right here at the Singapore Boys' Home. Miss Lim taught me math, the subject I hated the most. I would always take in Miss Lim's classes, and when she came to wake me up, I would curse and swear at her. But that never deterred Miss Lim. I think this went on for about 6 months. One day, when Miss Lim came to wake me up, as she normally would, I looked up and stared long and hard at her face. Something changed immediately. I can't explain it, but I saw genuine care and sincerity in her face. And I realized at that moment that she would never stop trying to get through to me. So I let her sit down next to me, and she started to explain the fundamentals of algebra patiently and persistently. So, that day, for the very first time, I managed to solve algebra problem with Miss Lim's guidance. That first taste of success felt so good, I just wanted to keep going. Eventually, I even managed to pass my math exam that year. That was the first time I felt that I did something right with my life. So, I was discharged from the boys' home in April 2011. I left the home wanting to get my life back in order. And it was all because of Miss Lim. After she helped me overcome this algebra hurdle, I started to believe that I'm able to achieve anything as long as I put in hours, try my best, and never give up. I went back to school with one clear aim to do well my N-levels. And believe it or not, I taught the school. I actually received this given to the student who got the best results for N-levels. If Miss Lim hadn't been patient with me and guided me through algebra, I wouldn't have passed math. As a software engineer, math is behind everything that we do. And that's why I really want to thank Miss Lim in person. But the boys' home has very strict rules when it comes to maintaining contact with staff and teachers. I guess this is a job for the On the Breakdown team.
Career Health Summit 2025, brought to you by Workforce Singapore and Singapore Business Federation. In the volatile world, businesses must navigate market shocks.
The team has found Miss Lim. She's no longer teaching at the boys' home, which means that I can finally meet up with her. Apparently, she's currently teaching at various different schools, and one of them is at ITE College Central. I hope she remembers me. Excited to see her. I think she's there already. I'm nervous. She doesn't know that I'm involved. name?
Wow.
I'm Jasper. You remember me?
I'm surprised. How did you know?
This was a surprise.
Serious?
This was a surprise for you.
Shocked, stunned, and then very happy, very touched. I didn't expect him to be here.
I've always wanted to meet you and thank you for the good you've done in my life.
I think I dropped my tears.
If it's not for you, I wouldn't have done well in school. I wouldn't have become an engineering scholar, and I wouldn't have started a business. I'm running a company now. We employ 80 people.
Good.
We are in
Keep it up.
Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia. Can you come to our office together? Come and take a look. So this is the lobby. We typically have lunch here. Sometimes we'll play football. Sometimes we'll take meetings here. So this is the office. Okay, so this is a special area where the engineering team sits. It's a bit messy. We are, young team. Einstein had a messy team.
From what he shows me, I see he's grown. From a boy just had 2 in the boys' home, he really did well. Amazing. He's now a man guiding his team. I see a lot of changes and I'm very impressed.
Just really wanted to honor you. Yeah, and thank you for just really helping me get out of that situation. The reason why I'm here is because you helped me with that first step.
I'm happy you trusted me. And then you did yourself good. You're very diligent. Most important, you move on in life.
Thank you, Miss Lee.
So I hope that you are a model
Yes.
for everyone.
Yes, Miss Lee.
Yes, keep it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Your godson? Why not?
Thank you. Surprise. No words can describe. You know how a teacher feels when the student really did well and succeed in life. That's worth more than money can buy.
Come
เปิ
on.
ดร้านเยี่ยวอ่ะร้านดี
It was like reuniting with an old friend, but under different circumstances. I always remember listening certain like today I get to see another side of her. I can't wait to have her be a permanent part of my life. No giving way,
Oh,
I think you score more than me.
first time playing this, whatever this game is called.
Border Force officers have stopped a man returning from a short trip to Vietnam.
The passenger is fidgety, he's very sweaty, he's very nervous, which for us is a concern.
Experienced officers know that this type of behaviour often occurs when someone is attempting to carry drugs across the border.
Have you been in trouble with the police before?
Yeah,
Yeah? What for?
something violent for the marijuana.
Marijuana? What was marijuana? Did you growing? Selling?
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
10 years ago.
10 years ago?
Yeah.
Did you go to jail?
Yeah.
How long for? 2 years. And since then? So that was the last time you've been in trouble?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to go and check now. I need to know that you've been honest.
Sorry?
I'm going to go and check now. I need to know that you've been honest.
After you contact, right. That's really good.
Still waiting in contact? I'll go check.
อันนี้นะเขาเรียน
Officers are able to verify that the man has no additional convictions and will now proceed to inspect his luggage. A swab is taken from some items, including tea packets, to test for prohibited substances.
My name is
see if there's any customs or immigration interest, okay?
A young Malaysian man arriving on a tourist visa has been taken aside by Australian Border Force officers as there is a concern that he may be trying to enter the country under false pretenses.
You just traveled by yourself today? Yes. Your first time here?
A search of the passenger's belongings will help in assessing if his claims are true, that he is here for just 1 week's holiday.
How long have you been in Australia for?
I'll refresh myself.
While the bag search is completed, Officer Tim consults with his supervisor, who has already found some concerning text messages on the man's mobile, which are from an acquaintance back in Malaysia.
There's some very interesting information that we have extracted from the phone. Bosco, his friend, sent him a message last Friday. So Bosco asked him, where do you go? He says, go Australia, work. Wow, are you serious, mate? And it goes on, can't see you
At least a few years.
at least a few years. Well, this is very incriminating that he has told Bosco that he's going overseas, going to Australia, because he can't find a job and he won't be back in a few years. I think he needs to come up with something fairly clever to get his way out on that.
Armed with this information, Officer Tim will begin a formal interview, and he starts by asking Ken about his tourism plans.
What can you tell me about Sydney? What was it that you wanted to do in Sydney?
Actually, it's my friend over here, so I thought just come here and then go around and don't want to take too much.
This passenger returning from Vietnam has admitted to a prior conviction for growing and selling marijuana. Today, a swab taken from the contents of his luggage has tested positive for heroin and THC, which is the main chemical compound in marijuana.
You use drugs now? Huh? Do you use drugs? No. No? You saw the drugstore like that? It's come up with heroin. What? Oh, please. You don't think so? Yeah. Well, let's come up with heroin. So what we're going to do, we're going to break a couple open, we're going to have a look, alright? Yeah. No, you want to break. You want to break everywhere. Everything.
A search of the man's bags fails to uncover any concealed drugs. That doesn't explain why the swab tested positive.
When was the last time you used drugs? You? Yeah. No, not you. Never? Yeah. No, I do, but not yesterday. Not now. How long ago? I don't know. Couple of weeks. 1 week? 1 year before? I don't know.
The man has admitted to taking narcotics, but claims to not know when he last used. Officers are now concerned that he may be carrying drugs on his body and will conduct a frisk search.
Do you consent to the search? You agree to having the search done? Do you want it done here or in a private room?
Up to you.
You have to tell me which one you want.
Up to you. The one here, inside.
You are the one who tells me here or in the room? In the room? Okay. Yes, officer will go in the room.
While the passenger is searched, another alert is raised, which quickly turns officers' attention to a second passenger who is also returning from Vietnam on the same flight.
Client's getting tests on his luggage to come back with strong rings for heroin.
In the multi-billion-dollar world of smuggling,
Charles Carson.
criminals will go to great lengths to get their contraband across the border undetected.
Here you go. Lots of white powder in there.
Whether it's concealed in huge shipping containers or hidden in small everyday objects, their methods are constantly evolving. Australian Border Force officers are aware that a recent method used by drug syndicates is to suspend illegal substances in liquid.
At the bowl of the bottle, you'll see like a dustless film on there. Something.
Difficult to detect, this is a sophisticated procedure which involves drying out the liquid, leaving the narcotic residue behind.
There you go. Come up, cocaine.
Today in Melbourne, Border Force officers are taking a suspicious package of beauty products to the Air Cargo Workshop for further inspection.
Okay, so can you tell me a little bit more about this one? Where's it from?
This is air freight from Hong Kong.
Oh, okay.
Declared as space cleanser, so I think we have to X-ray this one.
Yeah.
The X-ray image reveals 8 individual containers inside the box.
The image seems fairly consistent with bottles, but the densities vary quite a lot, which is quite unusual.
That's unusual that it's lighter there and then quite dense in the middle.
Yeah, I think we need to do some further testing.
Yeah, definitely. Let's open her up.
Once open, officers immediately notice something unusual about the contents.
And on the receipt,
$1,824.
H2O, it's so really they're paying $1,800 for water, which seems very suspicious.
An inspection of the bottles does little to allay their suspicions.
That doesn't look right already.
That looks inconsistent straight away. There appears to be some crystallization occurring in this bottle.
Yeah, this one here, water wouldn't have crystals like that in it.
Border Force officers have stopped 2 passengers travelling from Vietnam, as the luggage from both men has returned a positive swab test for heroin.
He's very nervous at the moment. Line scan tests of his luggage come back with strong readings for heroin.
A frisk search conducted on the first passenger has shown he is not carrying drugs on his body. Officers now want to know if the 2 men are connected and whether they are attempting to smuggle drugs across the border.
We think he might be Charlie this guy. Yeah, I'll have a look. This guy's got a previous drug convictions.
This guy's got heroin readings as well.
2 men from the same flight with the same drug reading is an unlikely coincidence, so Officer Tim confirms the connection.
Do you know him?
We all would like to invest in inexpensive but fast-growing companies with a big future. IBKR Global Analyst helps you find undervalued stocks around the world. Global Analyst lets you easily compare the relative value of global stocks by region.
I know him. We are family. How long? Long time. Yeah. Okay. Now, I need to ask you a question. We get heroin readings off your bag, yeah?
Huh?
We swab your bag, we get readings for heroin. So when you were in Vietnam, did you use heroin? I want you to think about this, alright? It doesn't matter to me if you've been overseas and you've used.
Yeah, I know.
That's cool. I need to know that.
Yeah, no.
But no? What about your friend? No.
I don't know him.
You don't know him?
Yeah. Because he goes there, but he do, I don't know. But I'm not funny, did it?
You travel with him?
Yeah.
Both men deny any contact with heroin, but the truth comes out when officers make an alarming find.
During the examination, we located a syringe in the pocket of one of his trousers. When we asked him what it was for, he said it was for heroin. Following up with that, he said he was a regular user and that he had trouble with the police before, and that he was, he'd been using it in Vietnam.
Officers now step up the investigation of both men.
Have you swallowed any heroin today?
At At Melbourne's air cargo facility, Australian Border Force officers are inspecting the contents of some bottles sent from Hong Kong.
That doesn't look right already.
Labelled as water, they suspect there may be something more inside.
You wouldn't get crystals like that in water. Very suspicious, very unusual.
Suspecting the crystals may be narcotics suspended in the liquid, a Border Force detector dog unit is called in. The dog immediately sits. With suspicion that the liquid is likely to contain illegal substances, it is taken to be tested with presumptive detection technology, which will help identify what kind of narcotic they are dealing with.
Exactly. So we suspect that this water actually contains amphetamines, however it is just presumptive testing and we can't be certain until forensic testing has been done.
A second narcotic test will be carried out to confirm that amphetamines are present in the water.
So with this test, we expect it to turn blue. Oh, that's great. Dark blue colour. It's definitely in there. Good result.
I found some information which does not support the reason of you coming here to Australia being solely for tourism purposes. Okay.
Australian Border Force officers do not believe that this young Malaysian man is here for just 1 week's holiday.
Are you looking for job opportunities here in Australia? No.
But Ken is in for a surprise, as immigration has located a number of concerning text messages between him and a friend back in Malaysia.
Where you go? Your response is, go Australia, work. You serious? I said I will always be behind you, support you, but I'm leaving. Yes, next week. Promise me, please take care of yourself. Okay. When you come back, after 5 years. And then the response is, so. The contact on your phone is identified as Bosco. How do you know Bosco?
Actually, Bosco need money. I try to ask him to return money, and then he say no money, and then fee, and then I just like to him. I will go to Sydney for few years, and then ask him return money from me.
Why would they return the money to you if you're going to Australia?
Because I just text check I need to go overseas and then I don't have any income. So I just go return the money for my family members.
You wrote you wish to stay in Australia for many years.
Because I don't expect too much from him, so I just give a line for him.
It's hardly a convincing explanation, but Officer Tim is willing to investigate further and establish if Ken has any commitments to return to back in Malaysia.
What is your occupation? What do you do for a living?
Shop manager.
Shop. If we contacted someone from your company, would they confirm that you're still an employee?
Sure.
Ken provides the details of his employer in Malaysia, and as the calls are made to investigate further, he appears to become nervous.
Now, after constantly going up for the last 2.5 years, interest rates are finally going to be cut in September. Now, if you're earning interest from your bank deposits, that's bad news. But if you're holding these stocks, it's good news. Now, in the last 2.5 years, the Federal Reserve increased interest rates from near 0 to 5.5% to combat inflation. As a result, inflation-sensitive stocks like real estate stocks, like REITs, like industrial stocks, and small medium-sized companies automatically crash. But in September, the Fed will see cut rates for the very first time. So these interest rate stocks will recover significantly. But are they all going to recover? No. Only the high quality bits, the high quality evidence of are going to recover significantly. So how do I identify the high quality ones and the low quality ones? So in my upcoming live webinar, I'm going to share with you my framework of how to identify the top 1% of stocks in the market. These are stocks that will never be found. So you're going to learn how to perform great market indication and shift as interest rates fall. Join me in my upcoming live webinar. Click on the link to register right now to secure your spot, and I'll see you soon.
The luggage of two men returning from Vietnam has tested positive for traces of heroin. And after officers found a syringe in one of the passengers' bags, he admitted to being a regular user of the drug.
They do have a number of indicators that suggest they fit the profile for drug couriers. So we're just going to use our body scan machine just to make sure that they haven't got anything concealed inside them.
When you find the bag later, just bring it to
The passengers are now asked for consent to be subjected to an internal scan of their bodies. This will allow Border Force officers to determine whether they are attempting to smuggle drugs internally across the border.
If you're happy for us to do a search, you sign on the data. The body scan is just an X-ray inside the stomach. We use it as a tool to identify if the person has swallowed any drugs.
The scanned image is sent for a doctor's interpretation.
Pretty much everything through both of their bags was positive for heroin. So until we get the confirmation from the hospital, the passengers are still under detention and they will have to wait until we get a final result.
The thorough examination is now complete. The officers are satisfied with the outcome.
So we've got the results now and they're negative for any concealment. We've got a negative result. The passengers are now free to go.
Ken says he's only visiting Australia on a short holiday and claims he'll return to Malaysia in a week's time to recommence work. But officers have made a quick call to his employer.
Now, we've had a conversation with our colleague who's made 2 phone calls to employees of the company that he claims to be currently employed with. Both of those people have confirmed that he resigned on the 31st of March, which is different to what he has explained to you during the course of the interview.
But when Officer Tim confronts the passenger that he no longer has a job in Malaysia, he quickly changes his story, saying he now has a new job starting in a different country.
Refused immigration.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, so you know what's inside the bags? Should or you should?
100%.
There's items in this bag that could be a risk.
Okay. So that means
We need to make sure that
There's items in this bag that could be a
Biosecurity officers have referred this passenger who is returning to Sydney after a short trip to Vietnam as they have concerns over what he is carrying inside his luggage.
Basically, he went for a holiday. He's had a change of ticketing, so he's come back early. There's items in this bag that could be a risk to our border. There's some of the indicators we're looking at that possibly could have a narcotic.
You're going to conduct a baggage examination.
Yeah.
These are all your bags? And the bags yourself?
Yes.
Yeah, do you know what's inside the bags? Should or you should?
100%.
Okay. What were you purpose of your travel?
Yeah, I've been for over 20 years.
30 years? Okay. 30 years is a long time.
Been a while.
So what did you get up to in Vietnam? Alright. So are you married? Children?
2 kids.
So they didn't travel with you?
No.
Is it work?
Okay. What do you do for work?
Bus driver.
Australia. How much do you earn as a bus driver?
About 1,000.
1,000 what, a week?
Yeah.
So that's enough to support you and your family?
For now.
For now?
Having already declared that he knows 100% of the contents of his luggage, the man now asks a surprising question.
Can I ask you a question? What's in that bag?
Tell me what's in the bag, you know?
I don't know.
You know what's in the bag? I asked you before.
Man claims to be noodles. It appears that to test for traces of illicit substances. Biosecurity detector dogs help intercept thousands of high-risk items each year, which potentially harbour dangerous diseases and harmful pests.
Whoa, you didn't notice all the ants on the fish when you come here to Australia? No?
The detector dog's sense of smell is thousands of times greater than that of a human, making them really effective at locating organic matter.
Come on.
Today, in Sydney, detector dog Axel is about to go on duty. He will be screening the luggage of incoming passengers, including these travellers arriving from China. If Axel detects a target scent, he will stop and sit.
Yes. Always is better when shared with loved ones. However, overindulgence may cause 7 symptoms of heartburn and indigestion.
Now the woman's luggage will need to be thoroughly inspected.
Bring your trolley with me, please. This way. The dog has smelled something in the bag, not sure what it is. So the dog handler has asked me to run it through the x-ray, and I can see organic images on the x-ray already. This item here, I would say it's a food item. I'm not sure what it is, but once I open the bag up, I'll know what it is.
The woman is travelling with her son, and they have both declared that they are not carrying any food or other organic matter.
Okay. I need to ask you some questions. Are these your bags? Do you have anything else to be clear at all? Okay.
But on opening the bags, it's confirmed that detector dog Axel was correct.
Yes, food. You must say yes to food.
And the passengers have made a false declaration, which could incur a sizable penalty.
When he asked you the questions about any food, you said you understand, yeah? So this is food. Why did you say no?
A swab test taken from items belonging to this man returning from Vietnam has failed to show traces of illicit substances. But officers still hold concerns that the man has something to hide.
Have you ever had any trouble with narcotics or been in any trouble with the police?
He's a little bit fidgety. His answers and responses aren't what we would like to hear. He's not confident. It could be this or it could be that. I'm not sure. So there are reasons for us to look a little bit further.
You told the officer that these are not your noodles.
That's right, that's not mine.
Who do the noodles belong to?
This one I was going to give it to my auntie on my wife's side. Okay, the person that gave it to me is
Who is the person that gave it to you?
my brother.
Okay, you obviously trust the brother to be bringing in.
But see, because I wouldn't expect anything. I mean, like people ask you to bring, can you give this to her because it's family thing, and I thought it's cute. So I thought,
Well, I hope you can trust your family members.
oh, if you find something serious in there, my wife would be very upset.
Criminal syndicates have been known to prey on unsuspecting family members, using them to act as drug couriers.
What sort of things are they?
I would have asked.
So you're bringing in things from overseas and you don't even know what they are.
Family.
Okay, they're in your possession.
Right.
And you said you brought them out.
Yes, that's true. It is in my possession, but I didn't know what they are.
Do you know how many times this happens? People standing all over one another's position. People have given them items of food, and it turns out there's something in it. So at this stage, the officer's going to, unfortunately, she's going to go through all your sealed packages to make sure there's nothing in there. Okay? Just mix one each.
Officer Stella will now X-ray the suspect packages. If they're noodles, as the passenger claims, they will appear orange, but narcotics are a more dense type of organic matter and will appear green.
It's supposed to be noodles. Why is it green?
Thanks to the help of Detective Dog Axel, biosecurity officers have located undeclared food in the luggage of this woman from China.
This food. You must say yes to food.
And it's not just food that is being discovered, but what appears to be a bag full of wood chips.
It's an unidentified plant material, and because there's no label, it's not commercially packed. And it's got a bit of weeds in it, so it's contaminated.
That is not the only concern.
We actually found a insect crawling on the bag, and we will send it off to our entomology lab to get further tested and to see, identify what type of insect we have. This goes to show why it's a very big risk to Australia, because it introduces exotic pests and disease.
And suspicions are raised further as more undeclared items are discovered to be stashed in some odd places.
Inside here. This item concealed inside the kettle. There is a lot of organic material in there, lots of freshly cooked food items, and I'm a bit concerned as to why they would conceal this in their bags, but inside other containers.
Can you tell us what happened here? I was there, man. It all stopped at me.
With the officers suspecting that the passengers are deliberately hiding items, attention is turned to a black and white jacket that the mother was trying to avoid having inspected.
The passenger was reluctant for us to have a look at this jacket.
And close analysis of the X-ray indicates that there may be a further concealment of hidden goods.
Obviously, she must be hiding something in there, so we want to see what is inside.
Wow, yên quá.
Each year, millions of overseas packages arrive at Australia's international mail centres. While most deliveries are legitimate, there are others that are cleverly used to smuggle a wide range of illegal items into the country.
Definitely concealment in there, yeah, you can feel it.
And although some concealments are extremely sophisticated,
see there's something shiny in weed fabric here.
Looks like we've got an alarm for cocaine.
other attempts are very basic.
So I'd expect to see body wash inside here, but maybe I can see some kind of package.
Today in Brisbane, Officer Warren is about to X-ray a parcel arriving from the USA, which has been referred to him for secondary inspection.
I can see why they referred this. There's a little bit of an anomaly in the middle of the package. Different colour, different texture to everything else that's around it. So we'll just open it up, have a further look and see what we can find in there. It's like a present for someone. There we go. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Deluxe set. It's come out of Las Vegas in the United States. It's just like a child's joy set full of textures, pencils. I can feel a little bit of a lump here under the pad. So we'll just have a look at what's under there. There it is. That's what we would have seen on the X-ray. Hidden in underneath. It's just a foil packet. I can feel crystals inside the foil packet. I'll take that into the deconstruction room. have a look at what we've got and do some testing on it.
In Sydney, this woman has been caught smuggling in an item of major biosecurity concern.
This is bird's nest. I had a suspicion looking at the x-ray that it was bird's nest.
Edible bird's nest is made from the spit of a small bird and is considered a delicacy in Chinese cuisine, fetching up to $3,000 per kilogram. But its importation into Australia is strictly prohibited.
So deliberate concealment.
Definitely concealed. They didn't want us to find it.
That's right. It's a high risk coming into the country.
You know, we've had bird's nest, avianza, flu, not that long ago. This is what we're protecting our bird industry, our poultry industry. So bird's nest is definitely out.
And the situation becomes even more serious as yet another high-risk prohibited item is found to be concealed in the jacket.
Not only do they have bird's nest, we've got these cordyceps, which are probably straight out of our market area.
Cordyceps are a parasitic fungus used in Chinese medicine to improve sexual drive and virility.
And this poses a risk because of the bacteria contained in the item.
We've got some more bird's nest, which was also concealed in one of the bags over here, inside the clothing. And lying at the bottom of the bag, under all the clothing, it's a whole fish. The heads are still on, the internal organs are intact. There's probably maggots crawling in and out of this right now.
Prohibited and infested items like these present enormous biological risks, which is why the penalties for their importation can be severe.
The thing that I'm worried about is that these items can be prosecuted. They can be prosecuted and go into the thousands of dollars. I have a hard decision to make right now, whether to fine them or to prosecute them.
There it is. Australian Border Force suspected a silver package discovered taped to the underside of a child's drawing set contains a large amount of dangerous narcotics.
Now I will take this. I will weigh this and see what we've got here. The grams we're talking about. Quite a lot there, looking at 64.7 grams. We have some beige crystals. I'm sure it's not a kid's toy. I have to be trying to control the kid that's playing with that one.
A swab of the packet will help to determine if the substance is as deadly as it looks.
There you go, it's methamphetamine. So you never know what you get. Based on the iron scan reading and the look of the product, we'll be referring this to the AFP.
If you often go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I suggest you eat 2 pieces a day. If you go to the bathroom several times in the middle of the night, I suggest you eat it as a meal. It is the famous 8 treasure nuts, small bow crisp.
Many people don't know that this is a natural alkaline food. This big
This passenger returning from Vietnam has admitted to carrying unknown food items over the border for a family member.
Oh, it was some kind of blues.
X-rays normally show food items as orange colored, but when his package is scanned, there is a clear problem, as it's definitely not what he thinks it is.
It's supposed to be noodles. Why is it green? Because the rest of it's food, which is quite consistent of food, being orange. Why do you reckon it could be green? Because it won't look, it doesn't look like noodles, does it?
Okay, these items do not have hail X-ray. Unfortunately, these do not.
So with the test,
Doesn't look normal. We've got an opportunity to let us, want to tell us anything about these items?
As I said, I don't know what they are. I thought it was given to me by someone.
By someone, you keep saying by someone. By someone, it's telling me.
It means that it's not personally to me.
Right? Said something.
Yeah, obviously it's not. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because this is so ridiculous that it becomes out something which I honestly don't know anything about it.
As far as I'm concerned, that was your suitcase, your box. You told the officer you pack your bags yourself. You know what's inside.
I know what's inside, but I don't know what they are. It's a family thing. How could they do anything to me? So that's the only reason why I.
Again, have you ever had any problems with the police? Have you ever dealt with narcotics? Have you taken narcotics in the past? Because we have some concerns, I'm going to caution you now that you do not have to say or do anything. Anything you say or do will help the evidence. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So I'm now going to take these and have them further tested, okay? More tests, okay?
Secondary testing will now be conducted to confirm what exactly is contained in these highly suspicious parcels.
Okay. Fortunately for you today, it is good.
So what was that?
And you are actually very lucky because somebody was able to identify this. It's actually seaweed in here. And it's heavily coated with salt. And that's what's giving the green appearance on our X-ray. Now, the confusion set in when you told quarantine officers, I'm carrying noodles.
Yeah.
You understand?
I didn't.
You didn't know what you were carrying.
Yeah.
Now, what would you have done if I said that's full of heroin? And I could have come back and said that because you had no idea what was in your bag.
Well, I would fall out, for sure, because
Now, would you be going out to see your wife or your children? You'd be going to Mascot Police Station.
well, thank you.
So for today, all the best. Thank you for your patience.
I still learn that lesson. I'm not gonna, in future, it's not gonna happen again. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Man is now free to keep his seaweed and cross the border, having learned a valuable lesson.
Thanks, guys.
They had the bird's nest hidden inside the bags and inside the pockets as well.
This mother and son, arriving from China, have been caught with a large amount of high-risk items deliberately concealed in their belongings.
The main concern for us is our agricultural industry in Australia, and having travelled before, they know the rules.
Passengers are now facing a large fine, even prosecution.
It's quite clear to me that you can actually speak English and you know can communicate. So tell me, why did you not declare any of these food items on this card?
I don't know if you're this time.
Well, you have whole fish. You have bird's nest. This bird's nest was hidden inside your jacket. Why did you hide it inside the jacket?
I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. You're going to be fined $340 for not declaring these items. My colleague and I is disgusting. You're lucky you're not going to be prosecuted. The consequences can be much more than $340. They could be thousands, even imprisonment. Do you understand? Yes. What you did today was very wrong.
With their exotic goods being confiscated, along with the cost of their fine, it's an expensive lesson for this mother and son.
easy to use spray. Just spray it, leave for 5 minutes and wash. Stay.
Nah, credit card. In case there's an emergency. But don't bring it when you pay my bill.
This guy says you're a faithful friend wherever you go.
That's because the man who wrote it is a businessman. Businessmen are liars, I should know. Anyway, what's the name?
What do I do now?
Really cool. Credit card. Which I can pay without paying, Mom.
Huh?
There's a technique to it. It's called rolling your money. I got it going in on your money. It's almost like shopping for free, more or less.
How?
Well, you make two of these ways. You say interchangeably upload for 50 of each month.
Upload before.
That's right. Well, you take the 50 of the week. It will take a few days. It all depends.
On what?
Which credit card you have. Welcome to the cashless society.
Only cash. Sure, but this cashless thing or not? Yeah. No, we can find a jacuzzi. The big model is on this side. You can buy two if you want. All you have to do is to use your right and my card interchangeably after or before the booking. Okay, let's not waste time. Yes, Rima? What's the money like? And I also got the umbrella in case it rains. No, to pull people out of the way. So, we're ready for Operation Roll Your Money Cheap Sale.
Today, this bad woman came to my store. First, she took all the shampoo in the stock. Then, she read those big wing paper slippers I ordered by mistake. And 25 cartons of evaporated milk. Not that she's bought enough for an army.
I can just see it. Talent's much too old, wearing big, boogie, venom slippers, drinking evaporated milk.
Squeaky clean hair. Anyway, she didn't buy anything again. She had no cash. Only credit cards. Otherwise, no minimum take credit cards.
Well, maybe he did his low class to carry cash.
That's not the point. Those credit cards. They do spend without thinking.
Maybe she was trying to roll the money.
Yeah, rolling it down the low gun. It's important to be trendy. The one I like is that you check for yourself.
Right. So, girl, how? You want the children's portable potties or not? No? They come out moving in modern jacuzzi. Saves water. The whole family can live together. Oh. How about this one for all household cleaner? It helps you clean your car, clothes, dishes, bathroom, and even your hair. Very nice too. Yeah. From television. Okay. Maybe another day. No, but this one is the worst one. Was attacked. Assaulted. Woman up. She's scratched too.
You better get an anti-tetanus shot for you make that long job. But then again,
Poor boy. Young girls are so violent these days.
I welcome injuries from jealous girls. But not from wild shopping carts. No thanks. There I was, bending over to grab the last can of strawberry shortcake with a stick body shaper. When this woman behind me was so busy shopping, she rammed into me with her, and I bashed my head against the edge of the dirty, rusty shelf. You're poison. While I was cleaning and things, the woman came back, and she grabbed the last can of strawberry shortcake with a stick body shaper. Somebody that gets us to join Shopaholics Anonymous. I know of a few more members of the group. Shopping maniacs. Should be locked up in Changi prison, right next to the murderers. Your fate. It was a long blood, you know. Good. I've got this blood restoring double bond essence of crystallized fetal bile. We'll see. Antibiotics. It saves lives. It's just a pill. Look, you don't take these, your cut will be infected with germs. They'll get pussy, like septic, like bacteria. So you know what happens after that? The germ protocol. No! You have to amputate. And I doubt your girlfriends will like you headless. Hey, I've been on to lose my head over vein before. Come on, take a pill. Well, go on. I'm getting red. You're scared. You're scared of a tiny little girl. Look, it's so soft, so delicious. Yeah, in that case, I could solve jelly. You don't get it. I used to solve these without any problems.
Maybe the sparrows are wild. The sorrow.
Isn't that really special?
So don't forget. It's raining. What was that? lot of things are spoiled. I just remembered the car company will set the bill, so they and so would know anyway when they get the bill. Alice, we hijacked the bill, and then we paid the car company using our own savings. Master, you're a genius!
Freaking out. I'm abnormal. Now I know what it's like to be bald. I'm warning you. Can I just start a sport group, society of pillowphobics or something?
Pillowphobics? And what do you guys do when you get together? Pillow fight?
Look, it's all in the top. Just throw it and it goes down easily.
It's in the top.
Watch and learn. Vitamin C pill into the mouth. Nothing to it. Now the advanced method. Vitamin B, garlic, ginseng tea, omega-3. Voila.
I'm really impressed. You crazy Paul?
You're going nuts. You know, I keep dreaming about flying pills that slow down and they try to enter my throat. Will they end up being across me?
Pills? Strange numbers about flying Auntie, sit down. I've got some chendol. Yeah, that's it.
I can do it on the way out.
I need to look at the steps.
Is like this at no steps?
I need to exercise.
You always take the lift?
Pressing buttons also need energy, what? What's that?
Oh, my credit card bill. This is okay with company. The postman put it in the letterbox like this thing.
Auntie, what is it? Otherwise the book get cold.
It's supposed to be cold.
I just remember this and you can't.
What's wrong? It's supposed to be green. Like this chendol. Wow. What's this?
Credit card bill?
My credit card bill, yes. This $50 is spent by you. So, this $1,865 must be by. Of course it's you. What? Trying to save the retail industry, is it? What I spend on my payment money, is it that you can help me?
But you never had sales.
What sale? The spend after I get crazy sale. Or the spend because I have a credit card sale. Or is it the spend that said I'm going to an early grade sale pay?
Well, it's just trying to know my money. If you use a card after or before the 15th,
Ronnie, I knew there was something to do with this. I'm not here anymore. I'm going up for coffee.
it's been 5 hours. Mom thinks he didn't go back to work. Where can it be? I never said I'm so sorry. Yelling at me, keeping his chest, swinging his arms above. You make him sound like Victor. He didn't look like Victor. So strong, so forceful, and so fierce. You're so fierce. Yeah. So why did I can't believe it? He grabbed the papers, then ripped all the seals out of this way, ironed under the pieces, and threw them all over the house, like on candy. And he then told me, and then snatched my credit card and snuck it into you. Which one of you?
Intruders syndicate?
Not John the Apprehender. Do you know the way you chase after him was reckless and impulsive? Trust what they makes you do this.
We need to work as a team here, you know. Just stop recording. They say officer is getting stories on me. Stop recording.
Then, do not abuse our officers. Stop the live streaming now.
What a weird button.
Bye-bye. Also, to all zones, many are not activated. MRT, please proceed. Good boy. Conversation over. I'm going to me.
With you. Move. Put your hands down.
I said stop moving. Put your hands up. MRT to all troops. Targets on the right.
Stop.
Following. MRT to all troops. Target secure.
Sleep.
Why? Is he angry with me?
No. I drank too many movies.
We decided what to do.
What's this do? What's done is done. I never took it a little bit by bit.
No. I'll pay for it. It's my fault. I'll save money to wash the clothes my hand and stop the project for a year. I'll even find a job at Burger King and sell them Whoppers.
Whoppers?
Right. I'll turn into a new leaf.
Like a money plant and loading up.
Nothing. I must. You are so weird. Even cut my own housekeeping budget. Today I started turning into a new leaf.
Orange, with salted eggs, steamed eggs, and China omelette.
How exciting.
Excellent and economical. Because of money overspent. I haven't punished you only because you're eager. Ronnie? Yeah. Every little article.
This is cheap and good.
As a boy, I make only big jokes and how you every day. It's all official. That's very Keep it up. Orange.
Aren't you proud of me?
Yeah, very proud. Very proud. The mother said that that's around. You'll be very all the next number.
Aww, this poor street is cold. Don't worry, it's fresh. It cooks up just now. And if we can't finish,
The rest tomorrow. Even the food's gonna be better than this.
try to keep good.
I can't, I know. You have learned a lesson, so please put up the other one.
I can't. I still owe $2,850 and 55 cents. But still a 935 minutes show.
Thanks, reminds me of the story. I can say now. I'm finished. Long before your time, in China, there was a merchant named Wong. Wong had a beautiful wife, Sha. But he also wanted to marry Sha's beautiful sister, Ming. Wong decided to win her by throwing a fish to his relative. She wanted the fish to drown others and ease increase. Listen. Wong was not in trouble. He never my business. So the next day, Wong stole his neighbor's old house. That night, Wong married me. They had fish rolls, beauty rays, and Dundee fried rolls.
the best dish was the 100th dish. Goose jumped over the neighbor's wall. Justin, shout, God's first wife, fought with me. Without even stepping as your mom was wrong to marry two sisters. The sisters left him for a pugilistic school. The Shaw School of Martial Arts. Now, let's see the moral of this story. Never serve goose jump over the neighbor's wall. Wedding? No. Moral is do things in moderation. Shopping is fun. But then there'll be hell of a lot to pay. Right? Giving on the budget is good. But porridge every day will be very, very all that gets expensive. And you're not I'm sure to read it. Oh, remember, I'm still thinking of the punishment. So, tomorrow when we have black pepper flakes, Miss Melody, fish and curry for dinner. Don't worry, I can afford it. Studios production for Channel 5. Scary. Are you listening? Your duties are doing the laundry, ironing, and buying dinner every night. Ronnie, mop the floor every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, clean the toilets every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and wash the car every other day. Got that? By the way, Dad left your allowances with me. What's the matter?
Ready to turn it up? SG60 and Skin Fest brings you a night of epic live music with Shy, Loverboy, Benjamin King, Shaza, and more.
Catch me live at Thanksgiving Fest.
It's going to be a wonderful night.
July 12 and 13.
See you there. SG60 and Skin Fest is brought to you by Alpha SG in partnership with SG Plan and Media Core Cloud9.
You were made to invent holidays. We were made to invent savings on flight and hotel packages.
Your brother and sister. Really close friends. In what way are they cool? Well, they're with Isaac. They're business students. Like me. In that case, no. What you guys do? I agreed to let them stay as part of the Isaac exchange program. Don't sleep in that room. That's wrong. I would say, why would they let them sleep in my room? Sleep in your room. I'm not going to check all right to my face. How about they sleep in my room? My body's good to sleep right now. Don't wake up to get myself. Hi guys. What's now food? Is that chicken rice? That's a recipe. I don't want to wait. Too many rolls. Although, I love watching my mother. Michael, my mother's away. Go home. I know she's away. But you said I could come around anytime. Only 3 minutes. Oh, here you go. So whose wedding is this again? Eddie, the bartender at my car. He said he wanted a real girl to throw his wedding. Oh, mine is really proud of your life. How did you get the wedding suite? Yeah. Hey, devil. I love them. Whoa, look at the size of those. Yeah. And you always have big feet. Tommy, it's like a devil. Daisy and Michelle, I've been seeing my parents in Bombay. So, you mind to share for me? Please? Can you please? I can't
I can. At a price. Pay up this mess first.
just cleaning up the place a bit because their parents are out of town. I try you out again. Chill out now.
How refreshing. Most men I know don't like being around cold clothes.
I don't see it as a job. It's more a trade-off. It's like a relationship. A two-way street.
A sensitive man of the night.
Yes. Sometimes I even cry.
I'm Denise's literature teacher. I gave her a little film and she left a copy of Robin Hands in my car. If read it, it's like the whole tradition of the world.
Green lights. Take push, right?
It really brought me.
All right. She's the one with the two pretty sisters.
I was so combination of love and sensitivity, with a warlike, passionate side. A bit like you feel.
It's me.
Yes, that's the copy of Robin Hands in my car. You need it before it's paper. Thanks. My neighbor, this is Michael Matthews. This is called Meredith. One thing.
Our lunches. I can't wait to go out and make a few killings. Yes, but killings it's strong. Now, it's more like fine.
I hope most of them are being eaten up by
Big corporations. I think my friends in Australia. Yeah, or this is my brother Paul. I'm in charge. Let me tell you the house rules. Ronnie Hall, have I told you about this shop on this good people?
Dinner's ready. It's a special roast duck, spare ribs, breakfast, chicken bread.
I'm sorry, but we're vegans. I thought you were Australians. They're from the town of Beef, dummy. There's no such thing as a town of Beef. So what are vegans?
Beans or eggs or dairy products, and cheese, ice cream or milk.
What about coconut milk? Because I already think coconut milk is fine. There also be fruits, nuts, and vegetables.
How about seafood yogurt? Do you eat seafood yogurt?
Starting to find out. Your dog is really healthy though. Oh yes, we're not in favor of slaughtering animals for food. In fact, the very thought of red meat and animal fat makes me queasy. Does that mean you're treating hot meat? No, it's against my principles. What up, Winston? Hey guys. Well, yeah. You might be. This is our next door neighbor, Michael. Meet the vegans. This is the vegan? This is vegan.
It's awful. You wanted to see me? Denise! I just want to tell you that you take a walk ahead next door. Oh, thanks. It's such a big deal for the parents. You seem to know them so almost as if they were living with. Is he really? Who? He's good. Michael! Heathcliff! He just had to come over and tell us dumb jokes and I love it. The sense of humor. He's a slob. Basically, he just does what he likes whenever he likes. He's his own man. A free spirit. An individualist.
Sorry, you don't understand. Men like Peter, like mine, they're a rare and endangered species. And with any luck, they'll be extinct like a dodo.
I'm Ruth. My first day of work as an ICA officer. You were trying to syndicate?
Not John the Brenda. Do you know the way you chase after him was reckless and impulsive? Trust your teammates to forget.
We need to work as a team here, Ruth. Just stop recording. ICA officer is like 45 minutes. Stop recording.
Babe, do not abuse our officers. Stop the live streaming now.
I forgot the real part to do that.
Bye-bye. Also, to all those spending your time activated, FRP, please proceed. Good boy. Kamu say sama? I'm ready to be.
With you. Move. Put your hands down.
I said stop moving. Put your hands up. FRP, the officer. Target is on the right.
Stop.
FRP, the officer. Target is secure.
I wanted to take Graham and Paul to the zoo, but they refused. They said they couldn't bear to see animals held captive.
Well, did you tell them that the zoos recreated the animals' natural habitats?
No, but that's not the point. For businessmen, they're so soft and kind, gentle.
Are you talking about the vegetable people?
Don't be rude. I think they're nice. So nice. They'll never survive in the business world without killer instinct. So, where are you two? Little Indian, so charming.
Looks like good shops there.
And vegetarian restaurants.
I cooked dinner for you, my own recipe. Organic brown rice with a bean curd and alfalfa souffle.
Sounds terrific.
I hope you don't mind if we start first.
No, please don't.
What's that? Duck way down. Smells nice. Well, it's the pork fat that makes it smell good. Interesting. So, what else is in it? Noodles, prawns, sprouts.
Alright, hey.
Coming.
Somebody should be making his appearance soon. 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys. What's for dinner?
Oh, I have something for you. From Maryland.
Maryland? Oh, okay then. Jim, Michael. I know you like M&M's as much as I do. Try the green ones. They're my favorite. Oh, you know what they say about the green ones. They're like Spanish fly.
Spanish fly.
One that got from Spain? Yeah. Lots of things on the Europe. French fries, German sauce, Danish pastries.
And Swiss cooked on YouTube, right? Go easy on Miss Boo. She's a very sensitive soul. She's just broken up with someone.
Well, she didn't strike me as a shy, reserved type. She said, the tiger at the end. When I see for her, I like animals. And I love it because it's a one. You know, just respect, you know. Whoa!
Hey, I'm not kidding. Yes, she was emotional. So I'm going to work.
Only the
Oh, wow.
Don't even mean that. Arguing it was seeing small businessman. Well, that's very good. It's a golden example. If I want to be normal, how can we sort of deal with a threshold or something? Well, Graham never talks about girls. Sure he talks about girls. He just never talks about big girls. And then Flora, well, I wasn't expecting to see her first. Mama would be saying, "Is it a guy, boy? You're so superficial." Flowers on me, a little slow. A little? How can you get so far with fruity vegetables?
Well, at least not as self-righteous as Graham. He's got this holier than thou attitude.
Don't say those smart. It only needs a meteor than thou attitude. If he puts me down one more time, I'm gonna slaughter him. Graham! How are you? Well, I'm Graham. We just met the chairman of the Singapore Business Association.
Vegetarian? He shares the same vision as us.
He always makes emphasize about providing the consumer with quality products at fair prices. And it's not just about profits. What? The Singaporean is not interested in making money. Unbelievable. The pursuit of wealth is fine, but those who do it to the exclusion of everything else are pathetic. You know the type. All they want are fast cars and pretty girls. That's so
Buckle up.
Man. I'll destroy you. Good luck with that. With
the world's economy in a fragile state, top corporations must adapt to survive. The bosses of some of Canada's biggest companies are about to take extreme action. To stay ahead of the game, they're going undercover in their own organizations. This week, we go undercover with one of the most recognizable brands in North America. As the fifth largest brewer in the world, Molson Coors can drink with the big ones. But this liquid giant has been struggling in the economic downturn, with their key customers drowning in high unemployment.
Wine has become more popular, and it's really important for the beer to keep up in that.
So CEO Dave Perkins is taking drastic action, but he's too recognizable within the company.
I asked you if you could go into undercover. There's got to be opportunities out there for us to bring more excitement to the beer category.
I have to shake my head.
Kelly Brown will trade her executive lifestyle for a week of fizz, foam, and fermentation. To discover the unsung heroes who make the company run. And finally, she'll reveal to them who she really is. They'll be shocked to find out she's the boss. And their lives will never be the same again. Because this is Undercover Boss Canada. In 1786, John Molson pulled his first plant, making Molson the second oldest company in Canada.
Dave Perkins, I'm president and CEO of Molson Coors Canada. The Molson brand is really iconic within Canada. Generally, where Canadians go, Molson is there.
While beer is still Canada's first draft choice, it's failed to keep pace with the population growth. A new generation of beer drinkers has turned away from corporate alliance like Molson, stepping into industry aspirations, preferring to pull their funds from smaller grassroots breweries.
One of the biggest challenges that we're facing today is really the growth of the beer category, because consumers are demanding a lot these days.
And rather than rest on his bar stool, Dave's going to do whatever it takes to find out what's not working and how to fix it. But this is where things get complicated.
Thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. watch TV?
Yes.
No, Undercover Boss.
Yes.
All right.
Right, you're gonna go undercover?
Well, the challenge for me is I think I got a really good chance to get recognized out there. So I'm gonna ask you if you'd be willing to go undercover.
Do you think I can pull it off?
Yeah, dude, I think it'd be powerful in this. If you're up for it, I'd love to have you do it.
Now, do I have to shake my head?
That'd be great if you would. Tattoo would be good too. Yeah, right.
My name's Kelly Brown. I'm the Chief Legal Officer for Molson. I'm also the Chair of our Health and Safety Committee, so it means that I'm responsible for legal services for Canada. If things go wrong, the buck stops here.
Kelly knows that sometimes a woman can face different challenges than a man.
And as a woman executive, many times I'm the only woman in the room. And so for me, it would be really interesting to go into the brewery and see what it's like for the women working there. And I remember the day when Dave called me to his office and said, Kelly, I want you to be our chief legal officer. And meanwhile, I was 5 months pregnant at the time. He knew it. And I said, this is a great opportunity, but you know that I'm going to be going on maternity with you. And he said, yes, but you're the right person for the job.
Kelly has juggled her high-powered career and her family life since giving birth to daughter Kaylee 2 years ago.
Even though I've always known family is the most important thing, I'm not exactly the poster child for work-life balance. My husband Mark is great.
There's money, there's money.
If he wasn't working so hard to take care of things, I would be able to be the chief legal officer of Molson.
What are you looking for?
And after a long day of work, when I get to go home and see my husband on the porch with our daughter waiting to greet me, it doesn't get better than that. But when I'm up in the middle of the night with my young daughter, sometimes I'm worried about work, that's for sure. Hopefully it'll be this week.
Before her mission begins, Kelly
Cả Nga phần gì à? Em thấy chưa ạ?
I want to go undercover. It's important for us to sit in the head office, not to lose touch with what's going on in our breweries. Dave is asked me to go undercover in the brewery. And the reason is that we really want to find
Đúng mà
out
mình đa số thì
and
tập tiếp mà nó meeting nhà họ đầu tiên đâu.
is there something that we can do to make people better? There are potential customers out there who don't trust the big guy. My job undercover is to find out whether Molson is making the best beer possible and to be ready to make changes if we aren't.
For the next week, she'll be known as Laurie Shaw. Her cover story is that she's taking part in a documentary about workers learning a new trade. So no more boardrooms and power suits. Instead, it's jeans and steel-toed boots.
While I'm undercover, I will be living a lifestyle just like any entry-level employee would. I don't feel like I have a good finger on the pulse of what's going on in all of our breweries. I'd like to know ways we could do things better. I sort of moved from being surprised to being nervous about it. Am I the right person? Can I really pull it off?
Coming up, Kelly's all thumbs and Moncton when her co-worker cracks the whip. And later, Kelly stops production in Vancouver. Kelly Brown was a lawyer at the top of her game, but now she's bottoming out in a brewery. She's taking a leap away from corporate HQ to spy in the House of Suds to see whether Molson Coors has the froth to rise to the top of the beer game. Kelly has flown to New Brunswick for her first day undercover.
I'm here today at our Moncton Brewery, the first brewery that we built for 40 years. It's our newest brewery.
Kelly wants to know whether this brewery poster child can be the model for the future. So she'll be working on the line today with Christine.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Christine, a brewery technician, has no idea that it's her boss in disguise.
You want to just grab a locker here? I'm number 1 and 2. Are you 2? Well, because I'm the oldest,
Actually, you might be the only one. Yeah. To be the only female technician, I just want to be recognized as equal. Let's get to work.
They head for the Deep Valley area, where bottles collected from around the Maritimes are washed, scrubbed, and recycled.
So the powers of the empties here, clearly conveyed layer from layer. Okay? These are all reused bottles. These are all reused bottles. So it is definitely more economical.
The Moncton plant recycles almost 30,000 tubers every week, saving the company $56,000 every year on new bottles.
So this bar here is what's going to tell you everything to go. You need to guide them down 2 lanes. Okay? Okay? So I'm going to show you once, and then you're going to follow. Okay? Okay?
This is the thing how many OS this phone? Oh. Yeah, just now no see the see Android can Windows OS or something. Windows OS let's say the Windows OS Android plus I think Linux. This is the thing we're talking about. This phone are very special. Lucky I keep 2. Let's see this one this one Windows or this one Android or I 1.2 or something else. Wow, my God. Đây ông bị đeo không? Đây này béo kín nhưng mà mặn. Còn sắp rồi chặt tiền anh gọi sẽ lột sữa.
After an exhausting morning on the recycling line, Penny tags along with Christine for a trip to the beach. They'll be taking part in a Molson Coors environmental initiative. It's good for their profile, as well as the coastline.
This is called the Shoreline Project, so we're going to go out and actually clean up the shoreline. It's an had 2 girls, so what are their ages? The top age. One's 11 and one is 5, and my 5-year-old is actually legally born. Last year was kind of a rough year. I had to go to the Children's Hospital in Nova Scotia quite often with my daughter to see surgeons and get checkups and stuff like that. She's come a long way already. Yeah, already she's functioning. Yeah, if you were to walk into her kindergarten class today, you would never be able to. Never know. Yeah. So I take it you've never been to Capital A before.
No, I haven't. Christy's gone through a lot to try and help her daughter, and she just takes it all in stride. Since becoming a mother, I really find it hard to hear about children who are suffering. So when she told me about her daughter, it was really hard. So it sounds like you really like your job.
I really like my job.
Do you see yourself doing your same job until you retire?
No. Someday I will become management of one of our breweries.
Are there very many women brewery managers?
I don't know that there's any, but I know I can make it happen someday.
Arriving at the beach, Kelly and Christine dive right into the shoreline cleanup. To keep erosion at bay, they'll gather up seaweed, trees, and other vegetation, and pile it up at the shoreline.
With the erosion of the beer market, it's important that we raise awareness of our brand in ways that actually give back to the community. And we talk about that all the time at head office, and it was really inspiring to actually see employees who care about it and who bring it to life. Well, that's what it's all about.
fit. He helped me just last year. I lost 6 pounds.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You must feel so powerful.
Yeah. You want to have that confidence because without that confidence, you never know succeed. And I think that it would help anyone in the workplace. Confidence. Elevate confidence.
Christina's awesome. She's really fought to be where she is. I've done the same thing in my career. I think she could be a great mentor to show other young women in the company how they can become leaders too. It's been a great day. You've really shown me a lot. Thanks, Christina.
Coming up, Kelly risks Creemore's brew.
We're going to have to hurry, otherwise it'll tie up the whole process.
And later, she almost loses it as things spin out of control. Chief Legal Officer of Molson Coors, Kelly Brown, used to know how to do her job. Not anymore. Her first day undercover definitely left room for improvement.
Auxiliary stop, waiting for you. Oh no!
It's now day 2 and she's on her way to the town of Creemore, a couple of hours north of Toronto. Creemore Springs Brewery has come under scrutiny since Molson Coors acquired it a few years ago. Beer bloggers aren't sure if they like it anymore. So Kelly's gone undercover to see whether the credibility of this small craft brewery is being siphoned off.
When we bought Creemore, some people thought they're going to wreck it.
The company's reputation is on the line. Kelly will be shadowing Mike, a maintenance technician and master brewer who oversees the whole brewing process.
Nice to meet you. So I guess this will work.
Yeah.
For matter 8, which we're brewing into, we've done constant cleaning, and we'll have to rinse that, sanitize it, and get it ready for Bob to put his brew into. Hi, Bob.
A master brewer like Mike is responsible for getting the brews to the next stage at exactly the right time.
So now what we've done is we've called reclaim, taking our caustic, you don't want to flush on it. Just gonna watch. Put the excess out here.
It's used to clean the vats and the floors all in one go.
Just a little bit of a scrubbing.
Mike encourages Kelly to pick up the pace.
To get in, this is just in case we only spend a couple minutes on it. We've got to kind of keep rolling because the brew is right now cooking. We have to make sure that we're ready whenever Bob comes. And we're starting to rinse our fermenter, our caustic.
It's vitally important to get it out of the vat. Any delay will destroy the entire batch, and the profits with it.
These hoses are heavy, man.
We're going to start rinsing water.
Okay.
We got 39 minutes before we have to have this tank completely done.
Be ready for the next brew?
Oh yeah, otherwise it'll tie up the whole process. Yeah, that's it. Glass that caustic off the top, just kind of rinse it all down the side of the tank. We're going to have to hurry. Now we're done rinsing. We're getting ready for our sanitizer. It's going to be tight. Sometimes you'll get to stand around and sample beer.
After flushing the caustic from the tank, they prep for sanitizer.
Number 8.
I think Mike's job is hard physical work. These are slippery suckers. Those hoses are heavy. I'd be hard pressed to do that every day, day in, day out.
In any brewery, I think you really need a good work ethic, and I think the only way for her to learn is sometimes get dirty and we keep working. We are ready to sanitize, but now we're going to do massive dirty. We're going to have to hurry.
Okay. There's so much art and science in brewing.
Part of Mike's job is quality control, testing the brewing yeast that goes in every batch of beer. All the numbers have to be spot on, or the beer will be lost.
If the yeast doesn't match up, then we'll know that something's going to happen to the brew. We are in spec.
It's very complicated.
There's only seconds to go before the tank must be ready for the next brew.
Now, we can rinse that sanitizer, have that ready for Bob. Oh, Bob's on it.
Sorry, Bob, it's my fault.
I feel kind of bad because Mike was teaching me and I slowed him down. Good thing Bob noticed to back them up, otherwise the beer could have been ruined.
Put the steam to sanitize the line.
With that fire put out, it's time to get some water. Kelly heads off with Mike to the local underground spring, which still supplies water for the beer, just like it has from the beginning.
Are you a good hockey fan?
Oh, naturally, yeah. But no, the coach of my son's team. To be honest, I've never been to the new ACC, which is sad. So, where you are now at our spring.
The on-site tanker connects to the spring itself with underground pipes. The tankers continually filling with fresh spring water. And Mike connects his truck twice a day, keeping the brewery supplied with the 8.5 million liters it needs every year.
Yeah, we were first by Wilson, but we're making the same beer that we've always made. We put the same amount of attention into the beer. We're left alone, you get to go on your own chef, really. Got a little water, we're all set to go.
Hardworking guy.
After I've done this big work, I get to go over and do some other hard work. You still have to wiggle in time for the kids and stuff like that too. I would like them to, but again, I just don't have all the money in the world. Got you, buddy? Caught up for the day.
Kelly's second day undercover is done.
Thanks for taking the time.
Oh,
I really appreciate it. I had a great first day. I'm totally exhausted. It was really great to get to know Mike. Father of four. He's a volunteer firefighter. He coaches hockey, has 2 jobs. It's amazing. He really has inspired me. I think there's something special about the Kramer Brewery because it is so independent. They do things in their own special way to produce great beer for us. The same way they always have.
Coming up, Kelly's new duties make her head swim. And later, things in Vancouver are breaking out all over. Kelly Brown has thrown off the high-powered trappings of her life and transformed herself into Laurie Shaw, the subject of a documentary about Canadian workers. On her 3rd day working undercover, Kelly will try her hand on the packaging line of Creemore to see what impact Molson's acquisition has had on it. She'll be training with Janice, a 6-year veteran at the brewery.
Okay, so we're looking for an information to make sure there's no walls in there. And sometimes there'll be a book of bottles, so we need to pull it off the line. We're going to turn the flaps in and bring those out. Okay. So we also have to watch this way to make sure everything's okay as the bottles are dropping in.
It's really fast paced. I felt like I couldn't make my hands really work fast enough. It's just too physically and mentally exhausting.
Kelly spots that a bottle's missing.
Oh, see, that's the situation. That's what we don't want. You want to go grab one off the line? Well, that's what it was Laurie that got it.
Kelly also notices that this is one time when she's not the only woman in the room.
All women that work on the packaging. Yeah, which is great. I think they're doing really well.
Making it the only all-female line in Molson's entire worldwide operation.
All the state women work well together. That's really women do work well together. And we're very perfect. Oh, are we guys? I think it's on.
Everyone switches to a different duty every 20 minutes to combat work fatigue. Next up, the light box, where each bottle must be checked for labels and content.
You just want the temperature. Okay. So what we're looking for, we're making sure that there's no leak in the top, the 3 labels. Sometimes there'll be no labels on there. You have to make sure that the beer is clear. You can see the level of the beer. It's like it would be hard to do. I'm just medium if I think it is. I'm already 50. Honestly, like, you don't know. Oh, now it's going back. Hey, look. There, I got it. No, you try to stick it in there where there's a spot. There you go. Do you have any kids? I do. I have
would be good at each one of them. You know, the light bulbs. She found that she's a little busy watching, so there's improvements to be made. Honestly, I felt sick to my stomach. They were going by so fast. It was really hard to watch it. It was thinking, oh, we have to change. Oh, okay. So right where we're going to learn racking. Oh, cool. Which is putting beer in kegs. Pick it up with this because it's about 160 pounds. Oh my gosh. We're just going to place it like that. Do you want to try that? Okay.
But Kelly is tentative that these kegs need to be shipped.
I guess she should go a little faster. Almost out of my fingers first. Pretty tired. Again, there's a lot of physical labor involved. But I can see how you'd be tired after this. So where are you planning for your next vacation? I'd like to do Scotland, Ireland, anywhere else. Yeah, that would be cool. My ancestors came from Ireland. Oh yeah. I'd like to one day go there. Yeah, I'm kind of same with Scotland. Oh yeah, I know they came from Ireland to Scotland. That's right, I want to go to Scotland. That's where your people are from. So Lori, it's kind of the end of the step. Oh, we're done. Anyways, bunch of girls go across the road here and have a great feast afterwards. So are you? I've been really impressed with the Creemore. These guys are doing their job, making the exact same great beer. Now we've got to do ours by getting the word out. It was awesome to meet all the women that were packaging line. They're hilarious, real salt of the earth kind of people. Cheers, babies. Cheers.
Coming up, some cutting frontline lessons.
It's like razor blade. They're cutting in a heartbeat.
And later, Kelly fears going inside the belly of the East.
It's cold and dark, and you climb, and there's blood and chain stuff on the floor. There's no way in hell I want to go in there.
Molson Coors CLO Kelly Brown has touched down in Vancouver to start her fourth shift working undercover in the trenches to see whether the standards here are as high as they should be.
Heading up for the first night shift. So I'm going to be on the production line. It's a really huge line compared to Moncton and Creemore.
With beer sales in decline across the country, Kelly needs to know if Molson, the fifth largest brewery in the world, can keep up with the little guy.
There's a new generation of beer drinkers going for the microbreweries because they think that maybe the quality isn't there from the big brewers. I want to see if there's any truth to that.
Kelly will be shadowing Dave, who mans the graveyard shift in the noisiest place in the planet. Three-quarters of a million bottles whip round this roller coaster every day, with such force that one explodes every 12 seconds.
One of the most challenging things about working in this type of environment would be that you're constantly bombarded with all this noise. Pretty much around a bottle pops, and it makes it sound like a shotgun.
Every time they switch the beer they're bottling, the pipes have to be flushed. There he is.
So how many beer bottles go through here every day?
My record-setting shift, 365,000 bottles in 28-hour shift. That's the record. I try to be the best that I can at whatever I do. Well, I always try to set my new standards. As far as the company, like they love it, the work ethic, the more I produce, the happier they are. Well, now we got to do our quality practice.
fork in the ground. Flow line, the oxygen level, the temperature is amazing.
Finally, some downtime in the staff break room.
This is our lunchroom. What do you like?
Do you live near the brewery now?
Right now I live in Vernon.
How long does it take you to get here?
Night shift, like 20 minutes. Day shift, it could take an hour.
So it's a one bonus to work in the night shift. So are you married?
Not quite.
Not quite.
It's been over 3 years with me.
When are you gonna ask your girlfriend to get married?
That's the same question I was planning to take her to Europe.
And then like you pick somewhere cool and then you propose to her?
Of course, I've been trying to save since I started here, and it's almost impossible.
Why did you go back?
Back to work, we must go.
Recycled bottles hurtle by a scanner, casts a critical eye for any incorrect ones, and takes them off the line. And every hour the scanner itself is tested, using an 8-pack of defective bottles.
Now put these 8 bottles in order in the line.
Dave knows the calibration's off if they aren't ejected within seconds. But Kelly's having problems keeping it in line. And so her first night undercover comes to its own grinding halt.
I'm super tired. I could fall asleep right here. There's no way in hell I would do the second shift work. We got here and it was dark, and we're leaving and it's dark.
Coming up, Kelly aims to please.
Like up there?
To get into the electronics.
And later, the undercover boss confronts the staff she worked with.
I'm Kelly Brown, the chief legal officer from Molson.
And they're in for the shock of their lives. Last night, Kelly proved skittish on the production line and managed to bring everything to a standstill. Tonight, Kelly's back at the Vancouver Brewery with a different set of challenges. It's 8 p.m. on Kelly's final night undercover.
I'm heading off to my second night shift in a row. And pretty much haven't slept in 24 hours now. Last night I saw how great our quality control is. But you know, we produce a lot of people. This chair doesn't seem complete. I want to see if anything's slipping through the cracks.
Tonight, Kelly will be training with Mark, who works the tail end of fermenting, and has no idea that Kelly's his boss.
I'm Lori.
Nice to meet you, Lori. I'm Mark.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
After suiting up, it's time to get down to business.
So, how's that with the fermenting? What you see before you right now is a tank that has the beer removed. Now our job is to remove the left behind yeast. This is pretty much what we're going to be dealing with today. I'm going to be going in the tank. You have not gone through your confined space right now. You're just watching from the door. So this tank is going to be entering and has been dissipating CO2, which is potentially a dangerous gas.
After brewing, there's always a buildup of poisonous CO2 gas in the tank, and the air must be monitored the entire time Mark's inside, using meters sensitive to CO2 levels.
Suppose you get to something volatile, you'll start surfing that ship.
So it looks like Mark will take safety seriously and has a really good understanding of what he needs to do to be safe.
Because Kelly isn't trained for beater maid duty, Peter's told him to stay on top of the deadly CO2 levels.
Peters are spotter tonight. You go. All right, see ya.
Good luck. It's cold and dark and confined, and there's sludgy stuff on the floor. There's no way in hell I want to go in there.
After the confines of the fermenting tanks, Mark takes Kelly up to the rooftop lounge, no view of the brew.
We're walking over beer.
We're walking over here.
You know what's funny? I really felt concerned for you when you were in the tanks. Really? Because of all the safety precautions.
For health and safety that drives it mostly is, like I said, you want to make sure you leave the way you came to work. And so I take it to heart. I had an aunt about 2 years ago that was killed in a drinking driving accident. That woman hit her vehicle and unfortunately she succumbed to it. And, you know, involved in it was a product called alcohol. And